this, is there a date yet?
You're supposed to do it like, looks like my editor, he used to record the whole, so he just, forces footage and then records the whole thing. And in that regard, he's worked that small. And that was big.
I took them. I just like and then all of a sudden he's going this and I'm just gonna go, no, and I've got it in my hand now, like, okay.
I just see like who track I'll do the same, like, oh, I'm not talking to him.
But I don't, honestly, I don't really,
Get why?
no, I really care.
Yeah.
I shot that whole thing that day. We had neighbors and that I was because it was a sanctioned event. I just went there because we finished, we're gonna go to the center. So I'm just saying, well, our recorder told me about.
Hello, Frank. Oh, yes, who's this? Chris?
She said you deleted stuff, I was like,
Oh, okay.
No, I probably did only because it was.
Okay, you see that? Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let's, yeah. Yeah, I just got one audio here, so hold on a sec, just a sec here. Be test, 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 1, 2, 3. Or is it on? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Oh yeah. Well, I could probably turn it down. Let's see here. I have my glasses on. Let's see. So I think it's 20 on now. I'll be at 25. Okay, so it's up there. Yeah. So whoever's going to be speaking is not going to be that close. So it's right up to the microphone. Yeah. So okay. No. Okay. Good. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Bye.
Hey, how are you?
oh, I'm doing well, superstar.
You are, yeah.
Can you make his head any bigger?
He's the biggest cop in the West.
Wow.
Thanks, Kim.
In the West. Instagram says world's fault, but
Yeah.
just saying. You're gonna move that chair, yeah. Exactly, right, yes.
Absolutely. Are you gonna enjoy it?
Yep. I certainly shall.
So I'm gonna have to go watch it. Absolutely, absolutely. And you know what, like, I rolled in late, like, if I'm gonna wait, just be like, get out. Getting my head in there.
Well, I've gathered you here today, people, for a very important announcement. Oh, yeah, so I'm not saying anything silly? Damn it. Thank you for warning me this time.
Just a heads up.
Just a heads up.
Hey, I'm just gonna put you on the podium, okay?
You always can't go for some good lighting.
Looks like we're ready to get going here. Don't knock the flags over. Okay, are you guys all ready? Are we ready? Okay, first of all, I'd like to thank you guys for coming to the Kelowna RCMP detachment. We're going to be talking about the events that occurred yesterday in our city. Before we get started, I'd like to do a land acknowledgement. We are honored to be able to live, learn, serve on the traditional and unceded territories of the Okanagan and Syilx people. My name is Constable Michael Della Polera, Michael, surname spelled capital Della hyphen capital Paolera. Inspector Beth McAndy, her surname is spelled Mcandie. She's the acting OIC in charge of the Kelowna detachment right now. She will give you a brief statement, then Q&A after. Please focus on the events of yesterday. Anything that follows up after that we can deal with later. I'll go get her. Oh, sorry, and also in the back of the room is Corporal Mike Gauthier. He will be available for any French translation if required.
Good afternoon, and thank you for coming. My name is Inspector Beth McAndy, and I'm the Operations Officer and the Officer in Charge acting for Superintendent Triance for Kelowna Regional Detachment. Yesterday, the Kelowna RCMP responded to a call-out about an improvised explosive device, or IED, located on the north side of Highway 97 near Cooper Road. Officers responded quickly, closing Highway 97 from Spall Road to Hardy Road. At the same time, our Provincial Explosive Demolition Unit was immediately deployed to Kelowna from the Lower Mainland. Last night, the EDU team rendered the IED safe. Our initial investigation has shown that the IED is not linked to any other incidents throughout the city or the province, and there is no evidence that this was a targeted event. Regardless, we take this matter very seriously. The EDU team are assisting in our investigation, conducting tests to determine the contents of the device, and further forensic examination is taking place. We are still in the infancy of our criminal investigation. At this time, the IED appears to be sophisticated, but the purpose of it is not known. I want to thank the public and the community for their support yesterday in staying away from the area in question and letting our teams do the work to keep everyone safe. We know the extensive road closures were impactful to our citizens and want to acknowledge everyone for their understanding that our top priority is keeping the public safe. I also want to take this opportunity to acknowledge the response of our police officers and other first responders and the overwhelming support of our community partners in our public safety response to this incident. Kelowna Fire Department, BC Ambulance Service, City of Kelowna Bylaws and Traffic Control, Private Traffic Control, and the support shown to our teams on scene from the Salvation Army. To those businesses impacted by this incident, we want to recognize your timely response and efforts to ensure the safety of your employees. Your swift action was greatly appreciated by our responding officers. I want to reiterate that this is an active criminal code investigation, and there is no evidence that this was a targeted event. Are there any questions?
Could you explain what you mean when you say it wasn't targeted? Was there anything in what was recovered that would have ignited this explosive device, or was it inert?
So I'm not going to comment on the particulars of the device itself. As I've indicated before, it is an active investigation, but we believe had this device been activated, it would have been successful at detonating.
Can you talk about the potential if it had detonated, what the impact would have been potentially, the scope of damage or injury?
That would actually be speculation and not something I'm prepared to comment on, as I'm not an expert in explosive devices. But we take everything very seriously and how we respond. That we knew the impact could have been quite a great risk to the public, and so we respond accordingly.
Inspector, a lot of citizens were a little bit concerned yesterday that the team from the Lower Mainland took several hours, obviously, driving up for this event. in the incident that something was to happen. Can you maybe go into a little bit of detail as to why there is a specific team? And then maybe talk about if there will be a team here in Kelowna designated to the case?
So in terms of the EDU team responding from the Lower Mainland, they are a dedicated team with a lot of very expensive, very technical tools that must come with them wherever they travel in the province. And the RCMP has that team located at our headquarters in Surrey, and they will deploy anywhere in the province. They will be continuing to support us in our investigation, whether it's locally here or from their office down at our headquarters in E Division.
Is there any consideration given to having other units in other parts of the province to shorten that time delay?
That's really not something I have the capacity to comment on. I believe that the response from our EDU team was exceptional. I've had the privilege of working with them in the past. They are absolute professionals and respond as quickly and as timely as they can, bringing all the tools to basically ensure that they have the capacity to respond appropriately.
Any needs on suspects?
We're very much in the infancy of this investigation and following up with all of those sorts of inquiries, so there is no information to provide you in relation to a suspect.
Can you speak to how the device was pronounced safe? Was it detonated? Was it frozen? Was some guy there with little wire nippers and cutting the blue one, not the red one? Can you talk about how it was pronounced dead or whatever?
So I don't want to sensationalize the technique, and I actually won't be getting into the intricacies of the work that this team does, but it was not detonated. It was rendered safe, and the EDU team would be better to comment on the specifics, and I know that they won't be getting into the tradecraft of how they render these items safe.
So you described this as sophisticated, I think. What can you say about that?
Having had a debrief with our EDU team, they advised me this morning that it was a sophisticated device, meaning that had it been activated, they believe it would have been successful at detonation.
Was it inert even when they got to it, that it had never been triggered, tripped, or in the process of doing whatever it was going to do, or was it dead as it sat there on the ground?
I can't comment on that. I don't have that information.
Are you able to comment on how the device was found? I understand it was by a pedestrian and the pedestrian alerted RCMP.
That is correct. We were alerted by a member of the public who located the device in the area in front of the restaurant in question and immediately contacted the police, and we have to commend that individual for their prompt action and really taking the matter seriously.
Are you concerned that more pedestrians may come across something like this in Kelowna?
I'm not concerned. I think this is not something that happens on a regular basis. Again, be vigilant, report all suspicious activities to police, and we encourage the public to reach out to us when they have concerns about anything that they think is a risk to public safety.
Inspector, can you confirm where it was exactly and a bit more information about what was the evacuation procedure?
Well, in terms of the location, it was located, actually, I apologize, I don't have the address here in front of me, but the general area was that was closed. It was located on the north side of Highway 97 near Cooper Road, and we were able to close the area, Highway 97 from Spall Road to Hardy Road.
And was it in the parking lot of the Wendy's restaurant?
It was not located in the parking lot, but on the grass space in front of that location.
Is it near a bus stop there?
I didn't attend the scene. I have no idea if there's a bus stop there or not.
Were the surrounding businesses evacuated?
So our procedure was to ensure public safety, to evacuate a safe distance. So obviously those, we talked earlier in the press release about those businesses that were impacted and that were evacuated. So in that immediate area, we did ask all of the business owners and the public in that area to make their way safely out of the area.
Can you focus on how unusual this incident is and that, we hear about bomb scares, bomb threats from time to time, but in almost all of the cases, it turns out to not be, to be a fake. How unusual is it that in this case, it was a real device with the potential of damage?
In terms of having data to actually, to provide you to say how often it is that we see these devices being legitimate or that they could have been detonated, that's anecdotal, and in my experience, you know, it just depends really on the scenario. I have 26 years of policing, and again, I would say that it happens on occasion that some of these are legitimate, and others are just replicas and people interested in creating mischief to the public, and that was it. So.
Are you able to speak to how long potentially you believe the device may have been there before police were on?
That's purely speculation, and really, I'm not sure that we're going to be able to determine that right now. With some of the inquiries that we're making, maybe we'll be able to narrow that down. Obviously, we know that there's been some melting snow in the area, so you know, at the condition of the specific device itself, it had been outside for some time, so I won't get too much more specific. One more question, and then before I conclude today.
You contacted the local businesses in that immediate surrounding area. Many of them have cameras at their door. looking out
correct.
And so on. So is part of the procedure then to go business to business to business?
We
to
will
look
be.
at?
We will be doing an extensive canvass of businesses in the area and seeking the assistance of anybody who believes that, you know, can offer some sort of surveillance footage that will help us assist in further inquiries in regards to how long the device has been there, how it got there. So
Are you putting out a
thank
call
you.
today for that kind of connect?
I will be referring to the investigative team who are currently overtasked right now with doing their initial inquiries. And then once we're able to debrief with what they're going to be seeking from the public, we will put that out. So we're not at a point yet where we are actively engaging the public for support.
How will we learn next steps from you?
You will be learning next steps from our media relations and communicating out that way. So thank you all very much.
Can you repeat your announcement in French, please?
If there are any references to French, you will not be getting it from myself, but we do have someone in the room if you have any specific questions or inquiries, can provide you with that in French. Thank you. Thanks very much, everybody. I hope you have a great afternoon. Take care.
Thank you. Mike, are you taking any more questions?
I can answer a couple on the side, but I don't
Yeah.
I'm not going to be doing.
I just wanted to ask about communication. Can you confirm how many press releases were sent out from the start of the incident?
Just one,
So why is that?
because it was ongoing. We did it on site